Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pitch Side Podcast channel. I'm your host, the HOD of the PSP. As usual, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Most importantly, if you're new, enable notifications to receive all the updates from this kind of match recaps and all other content on the channel, of course. And follow us on social media. I'm at PSP on Twitter, Pitch Side Pod on Instagram. Listen to this you can listen to the podcast actually on Spotify, Google Podcasts, not this. Drop in tomorrow, of course, and let's crack on. We're coming off straight after the Liverpool versus Burnley game, and hands up if you think that Burnley, and if you thought that Burnley were going to be the team that is going to be breaking a 68 now games undefeated at Anfield streak, something like that. It's ranging in that in that sort of number. But seriously, this is, I think, the rightful culmination of a couple of games now of a bad month for Liverpool so far, a month where they have been ineffective, unable to score, unable to really muster any sort of significant effort in terms of goal scoring. Now, I mean, obviously they played with the sort of a rotated squad. Origi was starting, Oxlade-Chamberlain was starting, but still there was a lot of people who are there. And I think this is one of the biggest problems for Liverpool this season, the fact that they don't have a stable lineup. And the fact that you don't have a stable lineup doesn't give you an edge and doesn't give you a sort of a chemistry to work with. I mean, they had to change lineups probably around, what, 70-80% of the season now. They had to change lineups for injuries, for COVID now, and for general sort of fatigue between the players, not just in terms of COVID or injuries, but also general fatigue between the players who are not, exactly 100% fit. And this is a game like Liverpool dominated. You can see, I think, the stats on the screen. I mean, seriously, Liverpool dominated this game, and they had a lot of chances, as you can see. Certainly against a side like Burnley, you know that the game is going to be defensive, physical, aggressive, kind of rough game that they're going to be playing. Certainly, they like to play an aggressive game. I mean, Burnley are the side that stopped the successive winning streak at the Anfield, I think, at 18 games. Like, they stopped them from having a perfect record at home last season, and now they break their streak at Anfield. I mean, this is the last club I thought they would do that, seriously. And there's Sheffield United and there's West Brom on the table, yet it was Burnley who was doing that. The goal came out from a penalty in the late stages of the game for Ashley Barnes, and I think it was a penalty. First of all, like, the Liverpool fans, I know they'll be complaining till the cows come home, and this is a penalty. Alisson got a touch on Chris Barnes, who got the ball on Ashley Barnes, who got the ball first, so it's not exactly something that you would discuss or would debate. This is the kind of the World War III kind of scenario that Liverpool fans were afraid of. Last week against United, they were afraid that they're going to be losing the game the same way that they lost this one, which is a late penalty. That didn't happen, so it happens in Burnley. What a sort of a troll kind of thing. Now this is 5 games in a row Liverpool cannot score, and it's becoming seriously worrying. Like, it's becoming a bad trend for Liverpool. And again, I mentioned, I think, the big reason for it, the fact that they don't have a stable lineup, and not having a stable lineup, again, doesn't give you enough chemistry to work with, doesn't give you enough team shape to work with, and certainly the coach is not going to be happy with that. And Jurgen Klopp, if you saw social media, it makes the round, probably a video of him screaming "play football" at his players, because he knows that they're facing a side in Burnley that is not traditional, that doesn't play traditional slick football. They just like to lump ball forwards and lump player forwards, and just like to play on set pieces and being rough and rugged. And that is what Burnley are. They are a basic side with basic style, but mostly effective. Keeping it going to Anfield, not just keeping a clean sheet, but managing to get to 3 points against Liverpool is incredibly important for them, and it's going to be incredibly, incredible achievement. They would consider that. For Liverpool now, the fact that they could not score for another game, the fact that they got Salah on and they got Firmino on. Of course, Mane was starter. They didn't start with those for, of course, obvious reasons. The FA Cup tie against United coming this Sunday, and that doesn't bode really well for United, because you'd expect that United, for Liverpool, sorry, that you expect them that United watch the game now and figure out, well, if we can frustrate them like Burnley did, we have a big chance of getting through them in the FA Cup and just, you know, making a big deal out of it. But again, it is now very, very worrying. It got past the point of just anxious or being a little bit doubtful or an empty period for Liverpool. This is now a solid bad month of performances. A solid, like, since the Boxing Day, it has been a rough patch of form for Liverpool. For the last month or so, literally, it has been a rough patch of form, unable to score, only scoring once in the last 5, like, unbelievable. And, you know, the only time they managed to score now, it's in the FA Cup and against an under-23 side, a very depleted Aston Villa side, and even that game wasn't that comfortable. So pretty much, you have a Liverpool side now who are, I mean, first of all, if you didn't take notice really, they're now 4th on the table. They're 6 points behind Man United, and at this stage of the season, being 6 points behind United and 4 behind both Leicester and Manchester City isn't exactly a good thing. And you have the run of fixtures coming up, and Man City will be salivating over the prospect of this Liverpool, this bad form Liverpool, because they would want to take them, they would want to, you know, they'd want to frustrate them, because City now have probably the strongest defence in the league at the moment. Not just in terms of numbers, but like the strongest actual pairing of defence now. And goodness me, did Liverpool miss, you know, a stable pairing in the centre-half position for a while now. So how would that go? I don't know. How will the FA Cup game against United? I don't know. So it is now reset button for Liverpool. That is what is needed. It's a reset button for Liverpool. If they don't go for a defender in this transfer window, at least they need to sort themselves out. Maybe this is a mentality maybe this is a mentality thing. Maybe this is a psychological effect. I don't know. But this is weird. And it's getting really, really bad for Liverpool one week or another. Again, credit to Burnley. They don't play the best of football. They don't play the most enjoyable football, but they get what they want most of the times, and they did it here, and they got certainly more than they ever wanted. I'm sure they wanted to draw the very best, but certainly this is dreamland for them and for Sean Dyche, who apparently got into a bit of a scuffle with Jurgen Klopp, and hopefully we'll see more of that, and the videos are going to be there on Twitter, of course, and it's going to be trolls for days now, from the Everton fans, the United fans, the City fans. It's going to be a big trolling party. And that's all I got to say for this game. Follow us on social media. Again, I'm at SouthPSP on Twitter, PitchSetPod on Instagram. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, enable notifications. We'll be back to that more in the podcast tomorrow, and listen to that on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform. I was the HOD of the PSP, and until the next time, I'll be seeing you soon. Goodbye.